you'll be given an incentive for giving us that information. So let me say, for instance, you get to a polling unit and there is no election going on in that polling unit, and you send us pictures with confirmation that there is no election, you will earn a point, and you can actually withdraw those points by whatever means you want to. So that's the first part of the new platform we are building, is just to ensure that people, Nigerians, change the culture of not just feeling, oh, I really don't care what happens in that election, because there's nothing to gain. So, but this time around, you can actually earn something while the elections are going on. The second part is, which is very sensitive, is um, the results. Apart from the activities that the eyewitness reporters are giving us, we also have polling unit agents. But the polling unit agents are not directly under the platform's management, because polling unit agent belongs to the political parties. So there is no way we can actually force any polling unit agents to give us information. So what we've done also is to partner with different political parties to tell them and we gave them a value proposition. And the value proposition was that in the past, just like it happened under the Labour Party, polling agents were giving money to go to their different polling units, and unfortunately, either they got bribed, or because of the vote buying, they were compromised and they didn't work for the political party. And after spending a lot of money, especially for instance, what Peter Obi did, he did not get any results or any sheet from those any from all those form were not given because they didn't do their job. So what with the value proposition we gave to the political party was that you don't have to waste your money. You can actually route all your polling unit agent via our platform, such that these polling units, you can monitor all their information, all their activities from the beginning to the end. And the way we've done the platform is that every polling unit agent, the moment you get to your polling unit, if you are not signed into that app, you'll be showing on we have a data different coordinators dashboard. We have the national coordinator for each party that coordinates the state, the local government, and the ward coordinators activities. So the national coordinator can see all the polling unit agents on his dashboard, and if you are not logged in, it will show that you are not active. So the national coordinator or the state coordinator or the ward coordinator or the LGA coordinator can actually contact the person and decide you are not active, you are not online. And so it's real-time activity monitoring for all the political party. And if somebody is going to mess you up, you don't have to wait till the end of the election before you take action. So the state coordinator or the local government can actually put a call, because there's a messaging system that is on the platform as well, and you can actually have access to the polling unit agent's phone number to actually contact the person. If the person is not responding, you can escalate and decide that the ward coordinator visit that polling unit or make a change. So the idea is that and we've spoken to about two political party, and they are very interested, especially the ABGA, because we are trying to implement this platform in the next election that is coming on in Anambra. So, hello. I don't know if I'm.
Go ahead. We can still
please,
hear you.
we can hear.
Yeah. So the idea is that most of the political party are interested. And the reason why we are doing that is because we cannot do anything without the political party because of their polling unit agent, because they are the only one that INEC has accredited to be able to collect the results. So, and on the platform, the idea is that all those results will be collated and evidence will be attached, all those um, to those evidence will be attached to the collation, because the way the platform does is it doesn't just show you the results form, it also collates it. So in real time, in a polling unit, you can know who won that polling unit without even going to the word collation and everything, real time. So we can't get because of the Freedom of Information Act, the way it's done, you can only give information that you are accredited to give. We are not giving um, um, authority. We are not authorized to share those information, but we can tell INEC in the future that if they ask us, how did you get this information, that we can always tell them, in case because of litigation and everything into that, this information we are getting from political parties that we partnered with. So
All
it's
right.
not like a
Shagun,
thief. So that also protects us. The other thing, sorry for me to just so you can also always ask questions about about what is going on. Hopefully by the end of this, I think July, we'll be launching the platform so that people can register, and then you can also participate in the Anambra election wherever you are. It's just for you to pick a particular polling unit and say you want to man that polling unit for us as an eyewitness reporter. But as a polling unit agent, you can't, because you have to be accredited by INEC to also give us that information. And as soon as we have that information, we will make it public to everybody to see, so that you don't have to wait till the end of the election on that day to know what is actually happening at each polling unit. Thank you.
all right, Shagun, thank you very much for that. Now, I just wanted to chip in real quick. Please watch out for that invite for the Zoom call where the functionalities of that platform will be brought to life. Everyone is welcome to watch out for that and, of course, to participate. So, eventually, the 1MMC and the Active Citizen handle will make that announcement. This is just our own citizen contribution to a progressive society by making sure that updated information about the elections, they are broadcast in real time and people can form their own opinion based on clear, clean data coming in. Thank you very much for that, Shagun. I know there's a lot more to it, but
Yeah.
eventually, when we get to that bridge, we will eventually cross it. Just wanted to bring it in the open, let the cat out right now so people know that there are individuals behind the scene doing a lot of stuff. And a big shout out to Kolade down there. He's one of the team who has been working on this thing for at least about a year right now. Thank you so much to every one of you. So, well, let's keep the conversation going. Magnific dude, let's have you here. It's not every day we always see the landlord in the house. Magnific dude, are you disposed or a bit occupied? Okay, okay. Let's just skip for now. When you're ready, all right. When you're ready, please feel free to hop in. You don't need an invite for that. Thank you very much. Lamin, I don't know. You had a queue, I believe,
Yeah,
before
I
you.
think justice is going next. After justice, we have terms before Chubaku. So yeah, justice
Okay,
is speaking.
hello.
No, Oga, you just came. Please. So justice is speaking, then terms, then you.
Okay, thank you very much. It's good we still have this. Can you guys hear me?
Your audio is a bit poor. Can you move to
Yeah,
a different location,
just
please?
speak louder, I guess.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. Mr. T, can you hear him?
Yes, it's much better now. Go ahead, Justice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Well, there's not too much talk again. Nigerians are down and out. The economy is in shambles. We have criminals all over the place. So if you are running in an environment where you have a lot of criminals, you also need to be on guard. I like the topic of this particular space, rig and die. That should be the idea going forward into 2027. In my opinion, I don't think that our Nigerian democracy is going to survive till 2027. But however, if the democracy survives till that time, let nobody feel like you did not know that you are running against core criminals. And when you're dealing with criminals, you have to um, put on a different approach towards it. Yeah, and that's the way to go. So I like the caption. Continue in that spirit. That's all I have for now. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Justice. Tem,
Good evening, everybody.
Thames, Alpha. Good
I
evening.
do longest time. I called in today I listened to somebody talk about all the whole mantra for 2027, and the person was saying it with respect. Listen, Tinubu and his cohorts have taught us a lesson. Oyibo people say repetition is for emphasis, but I don't think we are saying it the right way. We shouldn't say if you rig, if you rig, we will proceed with our violence. If we see any election result that is mutilated, that person that is holding that result is going down. Any INEC of official rigging is done in the collation center, in the what center. Any INEC official, listen, we should sound it so glaringly, sound it in their ears so much that it will, when they are sleeping at night, they will be so scared to want to mutilate any result, any mutilation. That person is going down. Unfortunately, we know that the Nigerian police and the security agencies are gone, but they are Nigerians. And what we are suffering, they are suffering it too. So if they're not tired, we are tired. We should not sugarcoat it. There is nothing, there is no way you can handle this emergency so lightly that it will not burn our hands. Continues. We are done for. We are done for, because what will happen is they will just make him a prime minister and he's there for life. Please, guys, we should not say rig and we'll show you violence. Rig, go and meet your maker. It's as simple as that. Since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence, and only the violent will take it by force. We need to take our country back by force, for crying out loud. How do you tell me that as in Korokoro, EFCC released a statement that since the Senate has passed the budget, it is not a legal entity. We cannot do anything. You're putting street lights in this 21st century, 200 and something million for one street light, and it's a good thing. We should clap for you. Please, guys, we are down and out. We need to get out of this mess. Let us have that mantra and continue speaking it. We should not stop talking it, so that we will drum it in their ears. That collation center, we are going to mount there. One result mutilated, even if it's not Labour Party or whichever party that we are fighting for. One result mutilated, you're going to meet your maker. It's as simple as that. Let them know that they do not have the monopoly of violence. It is enough. Please let us to say it boldly. I yield.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Ayodeji, I believe the post on the Jumbo Throne is the one you were referring to earlier about what David Hundeyin said. And that's just the truth. We must all prepare to carry out strategic violence. Now, that's my opinion, not the opinion of the one MMC, so don't put that on them. That's on me. So that's the post right there, just reading it out. Okay, so the next person, I believe, Lamin, I don't know if you're still there. I believe you said Ubaka, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, sorry. Apologies, Chief. Let me just, I don't know, can I speak very quickly?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
one
Go
minute.
ahead. Go ahead.
All right, all right, thank you. So yeah, I DJ again speaking here. So I just want to. Well, funny enough, I didn't even see David's post. I'm just seeing it now that you posted it. But I mean, for any deep thinking person who understands how Nigerian politics work, you know that this is what we should do, right? Again, the last speaker, I believe that's Tem, said some things, and I believe we should allow people express themselves. So those who want to be very vocal and ferocious about rigging and dying, right? They are very much free and allowed to go on with it, because we're in this country where somebody came out on national TV and said, Yashukundi, if you are not coming to come and vote APC, don't come. And the person was not arrested. The person was not picked up. So for as many people as are feeling that there needs to be a lot of ferocious kind of, conversation in terms of what is going to happen or what needs to happen, right? By all means, please, we should allow them do that. And for there are some of us who naturally we do not come off as aggressive as that, or we probably would not come and tell you some of these things. But when we sit down with the core, the actual people who are going to do the legwork, then you would have to put it in their mind, and you would have to make them realize that they cannot be soft to take power or to wrestle power from these, marauding murderers that we have as political leaders, right? That's one thing I wanted to point out. Secondly, I wanted us to also point out that don't forget, this is a public space. So yes, we'll say many things, but it is when we sit down in a strategic meeting with people who were confident are on board, that we can, express some things. For instance, I wasn't going to bring this up, but usually, right, we forget that the people who actually help in perpetuating this rigging are people that are young like us. They are called NYC core members. They use them, and these people are a part of us. They are the returning officers. They are the presiding officers in some places, right? These people need to be spoken to. We need to tell them, we need to educate them, we need to enlighten them, we need to sensitize them. So if it requires that, even maybe as a movement or as supporters of, say, I'm speaking for myself now as a supporter of PDP. I'm saying it again. I mean, with what has happened with Akintoge, right? I become very skeptical about a lot of people. So pardon me anytime I say, as as an obedient, as a supporter of Peter Obi, my principal, and I am personalizing it because I really do not know what people have in their minds and how long it's going to take for some of these people to unravel. So I'm not saying they cannot hear, they cannot give information back to who they want to give to, but I am saying that they should know that we know that they are a part of us. Amongst the 12, there are Judases and all of that. So we know that they are a part of us, but we are not afraid to let them know that this is exactly where we're going to. So it's good that we're adopting this. This approach is good. In fact, I want this approach to be repeated. We need to plan publicly, just like we did for NSAS. No secret meeting. Everything we want to do, we do it in the open. They see it clearly that this is what we're saying, because we're not doing anything illegal. We're just doing the right thing and defending the right thing, right? So what we should do is, I also want us to start, and it's not just core members. Professors rig election for tout and motor park street urchins. Professors. A professor rigged the election for Akpabio to be there. A professor rigged, there are people like Lawan bought 2 tickets, presidential and senatorial, and they are still in the Senate. Something that is anomaly. It's not acceptable anywhere, but it is happening in this country. So this nonsense, this madness must stop. So what I'm saying in essence is we need to be strategic in having to outline the people. Temple mentioned the police. I mean, those sets, they are gone. But don't forget, they are Nigerians, and we still have good people amongst them. So we will work with them. Amongst the professors, there are those of them that are horrible. They are going to rig election, but we don't have a choice. There are still those that are good, like Professor Nena Oti. We would work with them. Those kind of people would help the cause. So our work is to identify these people, the core members, the professors, the university students, or the university lecturers, even amongst the INEC staff, the employees. There are those of them that have impeccable characters, and they are honest to, because whatever it is, like my principal would say, none of them buys bread cheaper. Nobody goes elsewhere to buy rice cheaper. No, we all go to the same market. So if I'm feeling the pain, they are feeling the pain, right? So as much as we want to be ferocious and all combatants in this our approach, we also must respect the fact that there are people who are not as vociferous and are not as outgoing or upcoming as we want them to. However, they are a part of the movement. And so we need to galvanize them. They may not be saying anything because they can't talk, because they cannot be allowed to talk, because in fact the society cannot see them to talk. There's one former commissioner at INEC from Akwa Ibom State. I think his name is Mike Igini. I don't know how many of you know Mike Igini. Mike Igini had, from beginning of his work with INEC up to the very end when he left, impeccable. Now, people like that are no longer in INEC. But when they were there, what did we use them for? And what can we use them for right now? What information can they give to us? What help? What support can we? What data do they have that we can use? Because the truth is, we can speak all of this English and talk all of this grammar. If we're not working with data strategically and planning, we would go to 2027 and do the same nonsense, and the same or allow the same nonsense to flow. So in order to stop it, right, we must be strategic. We must identify, I have mentioned core members, professors, INEC official, Nigerian police force members, Nigerian security forces, NSCDC. We can identify these people. We know some of them. We know what they can do. So we need to start talking more. We need to start communicating more. We need to start pushing out this narrative, not just on social media, but on ground. I'm calling out Maurice Monye again. More needs to be done at the grassroots level. We need to see movement. We need to see motion at the ward level, at the local government level, and for the collation centers. That's my addition. Thank you very much. I think it was Shegun who did the presentation for the application or the solutions, the alternative IREV. I think that when we get to the point of having to, look at the functionality of the solution, the application, or the website, some of us who are IT inclined will also scrutinize the safety, the security levels, and all of those. We'll take a look at it before we adopt, maybe as a movement or as a people. But like I said, there are so many of us that are even not, being vocal, but we have so much more. They have so much more to give than they are even giving right now. So we should be on the lookout for those people. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you very much, Ayodeji, for that addition to your earlier submission. Beautiful one, beautiful one. Thank you. So I believe the next person to go, that was, I'm sorry, I've lost track now. Is it Temp? Who's the next person to go? Lamin, help me out here, please. I don't
Please,
know
let
your
me
queue
just make
anymore.
a rebuttal, please.
Okay, Temp, right?
Tep already spoke.
Let
Yeah,
me just
text
make a
supposed to be
rebuttal.
Udaka. Oh yeah, go on, please.
Okay, please. When I said we should start speaking this thing, I did not say that we should speak it as obedience. I was a Nigerian first before I became an obedient. We are not fighting to save the obedient movement. We are fighting to save Nigeria. So you see,
Fact.
when we started this, we no go grief for anybody. We thought it was an online thing, but we went and we heard people speaking it in the streets of Nigeria. I did not vote 2023, not because I was not available to vote, but INEC has a way of disenfranchising voters. They will bring limited ballot papers to a particular polling unit, and that was how I could not vote 2023. But I say this here and now. By the time we keep speaking these things, the number of persons on this space, you go to your relative and you say, this year they say anybody where did they die, they die. Before you know it, that narrative shapes up. And the ones that are not obedient on Twitter will start speaking it even amongst themselves. Listen, guys, this is not the time that we want to be strategic. We have to be deliberate. We have to be deliberate. If any INEC official hears that if they come to a polling unit and the ballot box is not complete, you don't end. They would not want to go there. They will make sure that they go with the complete papers. Please, we need to be deliberate with this attitude. By the time we continue speaking it from now to 2027, they would have conformed to it. That's my point, please. I yield.
Okay, can I go now?
Yes, please do. And thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you. I would want to add a little bit of my analytical mind and strategy to these things. Please, you do remember that the people that we are working with, we are going against, are very, very strategic as well. If you remember the run up to the 2023 election, that Sheyi Tinubu, there was a leak of Sheyi Tinubu's strategic meeting where he had a whiteboard and he listed all the crimes, all sorts of election frauds that they were going to use. I don't know whether we still remember those things, that episode in the 2023 election. So here is the thing, the few points I want to make. Another thing is that that Nigerians always feel like that the police is suffering as much as the Nigerians, but they are not, because they have some kind of buffer. If you let me shine some light on a regular policeman, especially a policeman within the South, because this voter suppression will be in the South. Now, a Nigerian policeman earns his salary, but he does not touch it. I'm giving you lay down of a Nigerian policeman. They usually do not touch their salary. Those that are attaches to public officials or company officials, there is a daily allowance given to them. When you get a police attached to yourself, there's a daily allowance you're supposed to give to them. They use that one to sustain. Then the police were there for the normal police stations. They go to the road to get their daily 2K. Everybody for Nigeria are daily 2K. Then they must grab some people from the streets and bring back to the station for the women and the people at the counter to make their own daily 2K, and the IPO officers or whatever to make their own daily 2K. So that's force alone is corrupt. And first, we as Nigerians, we cannot go against them. Our NSAS failed because we do not understand the structure of the police. It is the national police structure that enables election fraud. But as Nigeria is progressing, this election, I'm not even sure that we are going to be battling with thugs. It's likely going to be the police officers and the military that will be carrying ballot boxes. But here is the twist. First, when we start saying come to the polling unit and be ready for violence. Please, let's be strategic. Let's start telling people that come with your walking stick. Minimum size is 2 by 2. How many numbers of security personnel do we have in this country? They are not up to 300, and they cannot go against the millions. We will also make sure that everybody, whether you have voters card or not, there should be a drive to make sure you come out. If INEC disfranchises you, be there to protect your brothers, be there to protect their votes. Come out with your 2 by 2 walking stick, because there is a way Nigeria does things. As this narrative is coming up now, very soon they'll start bringing people, and you start hearing all over the radio. They'll start bringing stupid analysts to come and start telling you how it is against the law to come to the polling unit with a dog, to come to polling unit with a knife. But you are not restricted to move with walking stick. Then I want to also remind Nigerians that before we became Nigeria, or even before we became Nigeria, or even while we were still cavemen, everybody had their weapons, because you had to fight to protect yourself from the animals. We were not always living in mansions. We were once living on trees and inside caves. Before we evolved and started building houses, we were always living in caves and on trees, and everybody had a weapon. So that's structuring of colonialism and slavery, where you were disarmed and a police was instituted, is to protect criminals. But where our mindset now has been, we have been disarmed both mentally and disarmed physically. People would not be, once you talk about everybody having a gun, Nigeria say no. But there are countries where everybody has a gun. Yes, if everybody has a gun today, there will be a few accidental discharge left, right, center. But with time, all of us will know how to handle it, because the mistake, it could be you or it could be your brother. That gun, if you handle it wrongly, will kill. And why EFF is doing well in South Africa today is because people are licensed to carry gun in South Africa. So you cannot come to an EFF campaign ground and mess around. You cannot go to an ANC campaign ground in South Africa and mess around. You grab. So all this is there is a strategic bottleneck that is in Nigeria that is the first thing. So let's start making that drive. You come out with a walking stick. The entire police and army cannot defeat all of us if we are with our walking sticks. There is no army on earth that can defeat their citizens if all their citizens are out with their sticks. We are strictly out for there to support our working. If you have to have K-leg on that day or bow leg, but to show you need that walking stick, come to the polling unit. And if you price, you will get a payment. That rig and that has to stand. That is first. Second point, let's get our political parties to make sure that your presidential candidate do not sign a peace treaty. All peace treaties must be signed by, including all INEC state collation officers, all the ward collation officers must sign the peace treaty. Peter Obi should not sign any peace treaty till every INEC collation officer at the ward and the state level must be at that peace treaty signing ceremony to sign. Because if you move mad, that means you don't want peace. I keep telling Nigerians, you can't profess love to somebody who has decided not to return your love. You cannot be talking about peace for someone who has decided not to love you or to reciprocate your love. If you are talking about peace and love at that point, you are delusional. So people who have decided not to give you peace, or any religion that has decided not to give you peace, has declared war. Just be know it. So whatever your sacred book of your religion is telling you, if your book or any sacred book you are reading is telling you to do the opposite, when somebody is not willing to love you or reciprocate your love, and that book is telling you to love them, you are just delusional. So you must know when war it is. Then that's number two. Number three is there should be an education to the northern brothers that this is slavery. The democracy we have is a quasi-democracy. We don't have a country. What we have is a slave colony. Because one, let the northern brothers know that they are slaves. If you cannot use your land, you are a slave. It's only a slave that do not have access to their land. This is the thing to have. You must make them know that the imams and the preachers who are confusing them, are who are benefiting from their slavery. If your imam is tuning your brain, he is benefiting from your slavery. And since you don't have access to, there is no way to define slavery but a denial of access to your land. That is why the religion, they perfect slavery so much so that you will be detached from your land. The prayers you make do not tell you, Lord, give me my daily. It tells you, Lord, give me my daily bread. What a stupid prayer to make. Remember that bread comes from flour. The person who wrote the Bible, in his own ingenuity, did not say, Lord, give me my daily grain. Because they know if you are praying about your grain, you will be attuned to your land. You will love your land. You will worship your land. We black men never worshipped a God where else. When a black man is praying, he's praying for the land to bless him. Where we started praying to looking up to the hills from where your help come. I don't know when that one started. Because every prayer must be, let your land bless you. But the people who came, they had the smartness to make sure that they disconnect you from your land. Even the prayers, Lord, give me, where is daily bread? That is number 2. Number 3, let us also know that money, we mistake cash. Like, we place the wrong priority on cash. Money is a form of wealth, and money is an I owe you for something you have done in the future or you will do for me. But cash as a form of money is scam. Cash as a form of money is scam. So we must let our people know that pursuing after naira, pursuing after dollar is stupidity. That is why some certain tribes that are supporting the nonsense that are going on in Nigeria, because you are any US aid fund, or they are paying you through some civil society organization, you are earning dollars, is
Obakado.
stupidity. It is stupidity because you are collecting paper for the exchange of your land, for the exchange of your wealth. I'm listening. Who is someone called out to me?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I
I
did.
did. Please
I
mute
did.
your
Please
mic for a second.
mute your mic for a second. Right.
I really,
I
really hate
really,
to
really
interrupt
hate
you.
to interrupt
As
you.
much as I'm
As
enjoying your
much as I'm
submission,
enjoying your submission.
but we'll be shutting down soon. So please round up in the next 30 seconds so that we can have the remaining speakers before we call it a day today. Right. Go ahead. The space is still yours, Subakar.
Just
Just
basically
round up,
just
please.
round up, please. All right, thank you. So we must move forward fast, because the point about this is that it is only the South that is militarized. The North is not militarized. And for us to fight, you have to get our northern brothers in line. And it pays them that our northern brothers are ignorant. So how do we do this? Please, all the tech people that are here, if we can, as fast as possible, develop AI agents that can teach us Hausa, For example, those AI agents can teach us, like, teach me what Hausa, like from Yoruba straight to Hausa, not English to Hausa. Like, the AI agent takes what I want to learn in my local language and teaches me Hausa, so that we can have that bridge to our northern brothers. It is strategic that our northern brothers are made not to know how to speak or know how to communicate. But we have to bridge that gap. In that way, some of our brothers who are in the north can also help us to bridge that gap. But there needs to be that move first. Then about Peter Obi's, yes, they not love him so much. But how? Let me now ask this question or bring up this scenario. How do you expect a child who his teacher, his almajiri teacher, or his elder who is also an Muslim. Both of them are in the same polling unit. Then that young youth, that young northern youth has voted Labour Party, for instance, because he wants a change. Then that's their elder, that's your elder, or that majority teacher comes as a INEC, in name of politics, wants to change your result. How, and that result they are changing is the result of a Christian, the result of Peter Obi. That young northern youth will not have the morale and the mental programming to fight back. That is why the northern youth did not protect their votes. That is why PDP and APC did whatever they liked with Peter Obi's vote in the north. So I don't know if Peter Obi can swap his ticket. Why Dati goes as president, he goes as vice, because Dati is the only credible, with character and competence, and has that, and presidential without blot. That is
Not
necessary
an
for the
option.
northern youths to fight for their life, because you cannot you cannot you cannot divorce that mental programming from childhood that the Almajiri have done to their youths. You understand? It's going to be hard, but I don't know how. But between now and 2027 is a long time. There can be there is this collective intelligence that can happen whereby all of us become enlightened. There is this, I don't know how, but 2027 is long. 24 hours is a long time.
Hold on,
But
Ubaka. Hold on. You are moving completely into a different dimension that we can take up as a subject for further discussion in another space. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
okay, I'll mute. But I want to tell Shegu something. I wanted to ask Shegu something. Please, concerning what he said, just a question to Shegu. Please, Shegu, the platform we are discussing is a very, very nice platform. I will be interested. I'll come to your DM so that I want to ask some questions, so that, like, when it comes out, everybody who is tech inclined will scrutinize the platform, but also have in mind that such a platform, please consider hosting it on Alibaba Cloud. Take it away from any company that has to do with US and UK, because we are fighting a global war. This is not just like the idiots we have in Nigeria has a global syndicate that wants us remaining this point. But I would come on the next space and ask my questions, and hope I would follow up with this, because this is like an idea I know that everybody who is tech inclined has been thinking of. How do we checkmate INEC? But that would be next. So I yield my mic now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please mute your mic. I'm getting feedback from you. All right. Sounds better now. Thank you. So thank you for that. Definitely we'll follow up with a lot of points that you raised here. Of course, this is not going to be the last space that 1MMC will be hosting. Subsequent spaces will be coming up later in the future, and we'll be hosting different topics as we move forward towards 2027, God's willing. So I'm sorry, we will not be bringing anyone up anymore as a speaker. So if you have any comment, please just reserve it, hold it, don't forget it. Next time 1MMC is back, we'll definitely have you come up to share your thoughts with us again. So let's see. The Nigerian man, I believe, the Nigerian citizen. You
That's
and Kano will be our last speaker for today. So let's start with you. And please make it quick because we're trying to shut down. Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I have my other device on violent space waiting to join as well. So yeah, I understand why we have to round this up. Good evening or good night or good morning, depending on where you're spacing from. I'm going to make this quick. I have a very small perspective to taking action. I say this, that if the average Nigerian cannot resist the change to something as simple as a national anthem, the average Nigerian will not be able to resist when thugs come to snatch the ballot box in front of him. What does this tell me? Is that we need to begin to learn how to take the low-hanging fruits today. I have I have a reservation when people want to wait till 2027 to take action about 2027. Your enemies are not waiting to 2027. Your enemies are doing what they are doing today, using different methods to oppress the people and make them unable to fight back. And for us to win this war, we have to start fighting the war right now. And I'm saying today. And what that means is that we need to begin to teach each other the spirit of resistance. I hate to put this to anybody. What you are going to join, or rather, what we have metamorphosed into, become a resistance movement. Because if you say you want to end bad governance and bad governance is refusing to go away, you must learn to resist bad governance until it goes away, right? And we cannot be a resistance movement if we take everything that is thrown at us without question, without some form of resistance. So every Nigerian, wherever you are, and I'm saying anywhere you find yourself, this is a message to everybody, whether you are in Aba, you're in Lagos, if you see something that does not work, we need to be able to educate ourselves to resist. And that's why I use the national anthem as an example. I have never sang the national anthem. I'm talking about the colonial one, that's what I call it. You will never find me sing it. It ain't gonna happen. I believe that if we are able to learn, I say I'm using the word learn, we are able to learn the art of resistance today, then it will be easier for us to, number one, pass the message, and number two, execute even this resistance ourselves when the time comes. Right? That's one. Number two, people are saying that how do we reach others? That's like, how do we pass the message to others? Not just on social media and all of that. I am a fan of radio. Right. So I'm going to say this. I don't like to share what I plan to do or what I'm doing, but I'm going to say this very. I'm going to just quickly, I'll just say it anyway. Anybody wants to hear it, hear. If you have the opportunity, you look at what happens on Twitter today, where people come and throw useless points under people's posts. People open 20,000. I don't know if you heard that people open 20,000 accounts so that they can change the narrative or tweak the narrative in one particular direction. I believe that we can do this on the ground. So if you are in Nigeria, whether you're in Lagos or you're in Abuja or you're in Port Harcourt, what you can do is that you can join your favorite political radio station, right? And ask probing questions wherever you are, right? This is me saying that you can pass the message of, allow me to use the word again, resistance through radio, whether, especially for example, if you're in the north, right, or if you're in the south, just call into your favorite radio station. Now, this is you by yourself, everybody. Call into your favorite radio station, ask them why the budget is going the way it is going. Ask them those kind of questions. You are doing this not just so that not just because you are saying it, it's so that other Nigerians that are listening in, you know how it is now when you're driving on the road, you hear what people are saying and people call in, so that you yourself, you can use the opportunity to pass the message on the ground, right? So you are not only talking to people that are around you, you're also talking to people among over the airwaves. And what I've learned is that people use, or rather the government uses radio to pass this propaganda message to the public. So we need to find a way to ourselves counter this narrative. If we do this, I have a structure. If you want, you can probably DM me on how this is going to work. So if we do this, say a one person per local government, one person per ward, we probably realize that we now have an army of well-meaning Nigerians that are able or that can re-engineer the Nigerian mind to actually demand accountability, right? And like I always like to say, lastly, just to round up, no matter how strong a gorilla is, if you put 1,000 men with weapons in front of it, we will skin the gorilla without breaking his sweat. So we just need critical mass, and we must continue to build that critical mass everywhere we find ourselves. Thank you very much, and I yield the mic.
Thank you very much for that submission. Thank you. So, we have our last speaker for tonight, and that's Lucky Kano. Now, Lucky is the conveyor of the active citizen movement, and that's the body we've been working with to set up this parallel IREV, as we call it. Eventually, if you're not yet following the 1MMC or the active citizen handle, and you wish to participate as a tester when we finally have a Zoom call to analyze the functionality of these applications, please do well to follow both handles. because then you will be invited directly via the DM to join to participate. And of course, I work on it together. So, Chidi, I know you came pretty late. You joined the party a little bit late, but and Shegun already gave us a very good rundown about the IREV, the parallel IREV we've been working on. So, I don't know if you would like to chip in a word or two because we're actually rounding up. You're our last speaker, so just please take like 2 minutes to give a quick rundown on it and what you have been doing behind the scene as active citizen. Thank you
All
so much
right.
for joining.
Uh, all right. Thank you, everyone. My name is Chidi Lucky Kano, convener Active Citizens Movement. Now, I'm glad to be here. All protocols observed. Time is running out, so let me get to the point. It's a welcome development that the Active Citizens Movement, major person Shegu, I believe, who is putting all the engine rooms in order to make sure that Nigerians is presented a, should I call it a de facto IREV. Now, this very product that Shegun is talking about, we believe is the major thing that should give detailed reporting system from all polling unit, because really polling unit is local and people go to the polling unit and there is always result at the polling unit. So results get rigged, as we know, when they leave the polling unit. So when Nigerians appreciate this very particular portal that will give accurate result through the people who are, through Nigerians who are actually at the scene, who are collecting this very result, I think it will eliminate the rigging that goes with that goes outside of the polling unit, especially as it's planning to work towards party, using the party officials who are eventually the people who are credible at the elections, who INEC has given the mandate to sign as party agents, as the case might be. But what I want to add to it is that Anambra State is coming on, and campaign is starting. I think this month, or is it next month? Yeah, this one. So I think they have given the guideline. So I've started talking to different parties who are going to participate in the November 8th governorship election, which I believe if this portal tested and ready, we could test it in Anambra State come November 8th, 2025, which is this year. Then Nigerians will be convinced at least that there is a reasonable probability that their votes will count. Because the obvious thing is that once Nigerians perceive that votes are not going to count, what happened in Edo State will happen again, which is 10,000 naira for their vote. And obviously, the kind of hunger that is in Nigeria, you don't even want to blame them to go, because they just think that their votes won't count. So the first thing is to do sensitization, show them this portal, show them how active it is, and then once they believe that their votes will count, they won't sell it for 10K. They will go for it. So that is what I want to add now. So once we get the portal tested, I've already told there are about 16 political parties that are putting their tents there, and I believe that we can get up to 10 political parties who are participating in this election who can key into this very portal, and then we can get the result directly from the polling units. So once we do that, then I believe that 2027 Nigerians will go for it wholeheartedly. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you so much for that, Chidi. Thank you. Well, based on request, looks like we'll still have the two more speakers to go and maybe call it today then. I believe. I hope I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not mistaken. Because you're coming in pretty late. We were just shutting down.
Yeah, good evening, Tony. God bless you.
Yes, you too.
I always want to give my voice on issues like this, because I will not lose my hope for a better Nigeria. If the person that make me come into politics after leaving politics for many years, which is the person of Peter Obi, is still trying to make or see what he can do to make Nigeria better or possible the Nigeria I expect, the Nigeria I hope for. He's still open on it. I will not lose my own hope. So I'm hoping that things will get better, and that's why I still breathe this air. I still stand with all the things I've been through. I stand to say I will not die. I refuse to die because I know Nigeria will be better. And I want to beg every person. It's not about talking, I wish I can do. It's about knowing what we went through 2023, 2022, 2023, and what is going on right now. Everybody is feeling the heat. Every person is feeling the heat. Beg you again, don't go back and collect money and do something rubbish, and all of us will suffer it. Let's stand up and die once and for all, or live once and for all. Thank you all. God bless you. I hit the mic now. Bye.
Thank you very much, Monday, for that. Thank you. And thank you for stopping by, too. So, I think Mr. Z dropped off. Lamin, are you there? You want to come up and give us your final address? Magnific dude, are you available? Because we'll be shutting down any minute from now. And give us your final address, Magnific dude, if you're here. Mandate, please mute your mic.
Okay, please, my phone had issue. I'm struggling to go to the mic.
Okay. Looks like Magnific dude, are you there? No, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, so I guess at this juncture, I'll just say a big thank you to each and every one of you on behalf of the 1MMC. And like I said earlier, all right, Mike, are you there? Would you like to address the House? Because we're about to shut down.
Ah, la, 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 la,